So, can you see my screen?
Yep, I can.
Okay, good. In our last session, we have been talking about nested loops. Okay, we said nested loop means there is outer loop. Okay, and inside this outer loop, inside its body, we still have inner for loop, another child for loop. Okay, and we said in each iteration of the outer for loop, okay, we will execute complete iterations of the inner for loop. Okay, and this was our example for nested for. Do you have any questions about nested loops?
Yeah, about these things. What are they called again? Brackets. The brackets. There's two
Uh,
brackets, right? For
yeah,
each.
like this one here, opening bracket, closing bracket for the body of the outer for loop here inside from line number 8 till line number 12. All these four lines are the code inside the body of the outer for loop. Here we have print statement, okay, indicating the value of I. Then we have the inner or the child for loop, okay, and this one, only one line is the body of the inner for loop, okay.
Okay.
This one indicates the end of outer for loop, end of iteration for outer for loop, okay. And finally, we have this one, okay, end of program. This will get executed after the end of the last iteration of the outer for loop.
Okay.
So you understand.
Yeah. The inner and outer. Yeah.
You should uh, uh, understand this concept of nested loops like uh, a very solid understanding because
Hmm.
today's session
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
dependent on your understanding for nested loops. So is it okay? Is it clear? Or do you have some questions? If you have
Clear.
any doubt, please ask.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. Yeah, it's basically the same thing as a
I
regular
see
one.
some screenshots you have sent to me trying to practice for nested loops. You still have the concept, but you mess with the brackets. Like this one,
Oh yeah.
this one, this one, this one. Most of the time you forget to put this bracket, and I see you put a semicolon like this. This is wrong.
Oh yeah.
You should
So
put opening curly bracket and closing curly bracket. Okay. We put semicolon only for statements, like one line statement like this system.out.print, print a statement, or if I want to, for example, declare a variable like this. Okay. We use semicolon, but in if condition, okay, here I use brackets for loop. I use also brackets and so on. Like in all conditions, all loops, okay, we use brackets. Let me write it here in a comment. So at the end, all conditions loops we use, not at the end, but in creation. of all conditions and loops, we use the curly bracket. Okay.
Okay.
In statements, at the end each statement, we put semicolon like this. Okay, don't forget, it's very important. Okay,
Yes.
so now let's start uh, today's topic. We're gonna talk about uh, three important keywords. Okay, you will see uh, frequently while dealing with loops. These keywords are continue, uh, break. You remember break?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, because we already used this keyword before. Do you remember?
Case.
Can you tell me what is the use of break
Quick.
keyword
Oh, it
the-
was
before?
break. It just means that it cuts off from there. No, business, no more.
If you remember when we talked about switch case, okay,
Yeah.
at the end of each case, we should put a break keyword, okay, to avoid the program to keep executing the next cases. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Last keyword we're gonna talk about return keyword. Okay. Okay. Good. So, for example, this one start from 0 until 5. No, I will make it only until 3. Okay. And here I will combine. No, look, I don't want to mess with this one. You want me to apply on this program, or we should create a program?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's continue. I will make this start with 0 until 3. Okay. And here inside, I will make a combination of for loop and if condition. So here inside the inner for loop, here inside this one, we will make a condition. Okay. I will say if I equal 1 and you remember this and
Yep.
it's called the logical operator. We use it to combine two conditions at the same time. Okay. So we put and if j also equal 1. Okay. Here we're gonna use curly brackets because it's an if condition. Okay. This is the opening for if condition. This one the closing of if condition body. Here inside I will type the keyword continue. Do you know what will happen? Like here we have outer for loop from 0 to 3. Here inside we have this print statement for value of I, another for loop inside. Okay, here inside the inner for loop we have if condition, and still we have inside the inner body we have statement to print the value of j. End of outer for loop, end of program. can you expect the output of this program?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me what will happen. We come here inside this if condition. If this condition becomes true, what will happen?
Uh, It'll continue. I don't know the continue keyword. I don't know the continue keyword.
Okay, let's run the program and see what will happen. So we'll run nested for loop. Okay, before you read the output, can you tell me, like, imagine or just neglect this continue keyword, okay, for a moment, okay? Tell me what is the expected output as if this continue keyword doesn't exist.
Uh, if that doesn't exist, right? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that'll be
as
yeah,
if
that doesn't.
it's like I just delete this continue keyword. Just tell me
If
what is the expected output.
nothing will be outputted, right? Uh,
Yes, like it's pretty normal. Like it's straightforward example, and we
Nothing.
just
Yeah.
this last session. Tell me the output.
IOG plus tree. Uh, System of yeah, if there is no output.
Look, okay. Wait a minute. Okay. I will just cut this new part. Okay. And I will rerun my program here to remind you of the output that we're gonna have. Look, first we print the value of I here. Okay. Then we go inside the inner for loop. We print the value of j until the inner for loop break. We print end of outer for loop. Okay, then we go to the next iteration of the outer for loop. So I become 1. Again, we go to the inner for loop and we execute the complete iterations, 3 iterations. End of outer for loop again. And next iteration of I equal to, okay. Then it print value of j0, value of j1, value of j2, okay. End of outer loop, and then end of program. End of program, why? Because we already consumed the 3 iterations of I, 0, 1, 2. And in each iteration of I, we have complete uh, output for the inner for loop, j equals 0, j equal 1, j equal 2. You can see this repeated here and here also, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So this is our expected output, no magic. Then here inside the inner for loop, okay, I will put the if condition. If I equal 1 and j equal 1, continue. Let's run again and see the difference. So there is our output. Take a moment, read the output, and tell me what is the difference.
Mm.
Can you tell me what is the difference between the output when I run the program for the first time without the if condition and the continue keyword. And now after we added the condition and continue, there is a different output. Okay, can you tell me the difference? Like here in the outer for loop, we start the value of I equals 0. Okay, so here we print I equals 0. Then we go to the inner for loop, start J0, J of 0, J of 1, J of 2, and then we are done with the inner for loop. We print outer, end of outer for loop. We increment this value of I by 1. Okay, so I here is equal to 1. Okay. Can you continue?
Yeah. Right.
You don't know the difference? It's okay, it's okay. Don't worry. Let's explain, okay, the program line by line, then you will notice. Here, first line, outer for loop, I equals 0, and then we have 3 iterations. And then after each iteration, we increment the I by 1. So here, initial value of I is 0. We enter here the body of outer for loop, print line value of I equal 0. Then we go to the inner for loop, J equals 0. Okay. We go to the body of the inner for loop. Okay. We check. Here we have a condition. Is I equal to 1? Then is the value of I equal 1?
No.
We are here. We are in this part, in this highlighted part. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We check now the value of I. Does it equal to 1?
Not no. It's
No, because it's equal to 0. Okay.
Mhm.
So we don't need to check the second part of the condition because we have here and. Okay, and means that to
J equals
execute this condition, both of these should be true. This one should be true, and this one also should be true. Okay, so since the first part is false, so the whole condition is false.
Yeah.
So not execute this condition, and then we will go to print the value of J equal 0, because now value of J is 0. Okay,
Mhm.
here we are done with the first iteration of the inner for loop. We will increment the value of J by 1. So now, what is the value of J?
1. I
1.
mean 2.
Okay,
J1. Yeah, J is 1.
value of J is 1, because it was 0, we incremented by 1, so 0 plus 1 equal 1. So now the value of J is 1. We go again to the body of the inner for loop. We check the condition. Is I equal to 1? No.
No.
I still equal to 0. The other part is true, as you can see, like J, does J equal to 1? Yes,
But it's
equal
still
to
false.
1. But it's not enough to make this condition true, because I is not equal to 1. So here the whole condition is false, because I is equal to 0. So again, we will not execute this condition. We will just print the value of J, 1, here. you can see value of j equal 1. Okay, one more time we'll iterate and increment value of j by 1. So j becomes 2 and 2 is less than 3. This is our last iteration. Okay, here we check the condition. Is I equal 1? Is j equal 1? False, because I is still equal to 0. So the whole condition is false. We print the value of j equal to here. Okay, this last line highlighted in blue. So now we are done with this iteration of outer loop. So we print the statement of end of outer loop. Okay, and then we increment the value of I by 1. I was 0, so 0 plus 1 equal 1. So now the value of I equal 1, and we will begin from the beginning here, executing line by line a body of the outer for loop. So here we'll print the value of I is equal to 1. So here I equal 1. Okay, we'll go next for the inner for loop. J again is 0. J should be less than 3. Okay, let's go to check the inner loop body. Here we have the condition. Is I equal to 1? Yes, true. Let's check the second condition. Is j equal to 1? Is j equal to 1?
Yep, true.
No, it's false. J equal to 0. We're still in the first iteration of j. Initial value of j is 0. So here,
Okay.
value of I equal 1, but
Yeah.
value of j is 0. So this condition is false. Will not execute this condition. We will only print the value of j. Value of j is 0. So here print the value of j equals to 0. This one is the end of the inner loop. So we are done with the first iteration. We'll increment the value of j by 1. J was 0. 0 plus 1 equal 1. So now j equal 1 and I equal 1. Finally, this condition is true. I equal 1 and j equal 1. So the whole condition is true. We will execute continue. What's the meaning of continue? We will skip this iteration. We're not gonna continue executing the body of this inner for loop. So as you can see here, there is no print line saying j equal 1. See the difference? Value of j equal 0, and then the next line, value of j equal 2. Unlike here in this iteration, value of j equal 0, value of j equal 1, value of j equal 2. This j equal 1 is missing here in the second iteration. Why? Because the continue keyword will make the program skip executing the remaining part of the inner body for loop body. Okay? This part, yeah, we will not reach this part because continue keyword will make us like just ignore this line, like as if it's not exist. Okay? Whatever we have here inside this body will get ignored. Once we reach continue keyword, we will go back to the for loop and increment the value of j by. All code down here from line number 19 till line number 22, like as if we have another print statement. Whatever we have here will get ignored, will get completely skipped. Once we have the continue keyword, we will jump back to the inner for loop to increment the value of j by 1. Will not keep executing the inner loop bug. You understand?
Yeah, you don't.
Yes, we don't execute. We ignore the rest of the code that is coming after the continue keyword. Okay, we just ignore it. We increment value of j by 1, and then we execute the next
What's the
iteration.
point of it?
We execute the next iteration, not the current iteration.
What's the point of continue? Like,
You're asking about
what's the
the
whole
usage.
point of continue?
You ask about the usage
Yeah,
of continue. Like,
yeah.
I don't have an example in my mind now, but of course you will use it. It all depends on the logic you want to put in your code to achieve a goal. Okay, but
Just
this
kind of
all
skip. It
tool,
always
these all are tools. Okay, that you should know. Okay, because in the
continue.
future, it will help you. Okay, achieve a goal. You should put a logic in your code. Okay, performing this logic. Okay, will be impossible without these tools, without continue, without keywords, without loops, without conditions. Okay, all these are tools in your hand. Okay, to put your logic in the program to achieve a specific goal. But I don't have an example to give you right now. Of course, you will see. Of course, we will find in the future. But now, just you should know that continue keyword, skip the current iteration, and jump to the next iteration inside the same loop. Let me write it to you.
What would that like?
Continue. Skip the current iteration of the inner loop. Okay, and jump to the inner loop of the loop, because it can be used in any loop. Okay, and jump to the next iteration in the same loop. Okay, so once we find continue keyword, only the case or the iteration where j equal 1 will get skipped. Okay, then we'll increment value of j by 1. So 1 plus 1 equal 2. J becomes 2. We go to check this condition one more time. I equal 1, but j now equals 2. So this condition is false. We're not gonna execute the continue keyword anymore. We will print this line normally to display the value of j. So here value of j equal 2 got printed. Okay, and then the rest of the program will get executed normal as usual. So now you understand the function of continue keyword.
Yeah. What's the
I
point
feel
of the
I feel you are still confused.
what's the point of like what's the purpose like the purpose of the continue anyway? Like why does it skip?
The purpose it's very clear. It's straightforward. The purpose of using continue keyword is when you need to skip the current iteration inside the loop. Why you need to skip the current iteration? It depends on your logic. It depends on the logics
Okay.
that you put in the program to achieve a specific goal.
Okay.
Uh, let me give you an example. Let me think about an example. Uh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Let me give you an example. Here, uh, let's make a for loop. Okay. Uh, I int I initial value equal 1. Okay. I less than 13. Okay. And then I plus plus. Why is very sad? Yeah. Because it's inside, outside the main method. Okay. Got this here. I would say so. It's not Christmas yet. Okay. Imagine as if the value of I is a month counting. Okay. Starting from 1, which is January, until 12, which is December. If I run this code, let me just comment this part for a moment. Okay. If I run this code, it's not a Christmas. It's not a Christmas. Let me can edit. What is then I, value of I, then it's not Christmas. Yes, let's run. Let's find the space here. Run. Look, month is 1 is not a Christmas, 2 is not a Christmas, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still, month is 12 and still saying it's not Christmas yet. So I need to solve this issue because it's like it's wrong, right? So here my goal, okay, is to fix this issue. Okay, so I need to put a logic to fix this issue. How I'm gonna put a logic? With the help of continue keyword, I can fix this problem. So here I will put if condition, okay, and I tell you if I equal 12, okay,
Mhm.
continue. So here I can put run my program again. Now the output is different. Here, look, from 1 to 11, it's not Christmas, but 12 got skipped. Why? Because 12, December is Christmas. Merry Christmas. You understand?
Yeah.
The concept is very
Okay.
easy. Like, don't be in a rush to
Mhm.
know what's the purpose of this, what's the use of this. It all has a use. It's all useful. It's all tools in your hand, okay, to achieve some goals. What is the goal? It depends. It depends on what you're doing and what you want to achieve, okay? Like, let me give you another example. Like, I can't say what is the use of, uh, in our spoken language, I cannot say what is the use of the word hello, or what is the use of the word uh, goodbye, or what is the use of the word uh, cat or dog, whatever.
Yeah.
All, it all has a meaning. And you use this word or this meaning to express your ideas, to express your emotions to somebody, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Same in programming language. It's still a language, okay? That's the language
Yeah.
that's, understandable by the machine. So I want this machine called computer to execute a specific task. So how I'm gonna tell this machine to uh, execute a certain task using these keywords, using these tools, using these classes built in the programming language.
Yeah.
You
It makes sense
understand?
now.
Yeah, you understand the point?
Yeah. Let's in
Yeah, don't.
return. Return is returning.
I'm telling you because yeah, like we all got this in our mind in the beginning, like why I'm gonna learn these keywords and all. What's the use of this? Like it's yeah. You think somehow it's useless? No, I'm telling you, it's not useless. It's very important. Okay? Just don't make your mind busy. How I'm gonna use this one? No, this you, of course, you will know in the future, but just now focus on understanding the concept. That's the most important.
Yeah. True.
Understanding the concept. So, is it clear?
It's clear. Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions?
It's in the return. Did you say something about return as well?
Yeah, we're gonna talk also about break keyword and return keyword. But first, continue is clear.
Yeah. It's pretty clear.
Okay, very good. So now let's move on. Okay, to the next one, break keyword. Okay, okay.